Hello and welcome to the Mortgage Field Certification class. At the end of this course, you will have the knowledge to perform the basic mortgage field inspections and receive a certificate saying so. First, you need to understand what a mortgage field inspection is and what its purpose is. A mortgage field inspection is when someone like yourself goes to homes, takes pictures, and fills out a survey describing the condition and occupancy. There are many types of field inspections, but 95% of the time they're going to fall into four categories: occupancy check, door knocker, no contact, and interior. These are the ones we will go over in this class. So before we dive into the different types of inspections, let me tell you the main reason why mortgage companies order field inspections. When an owner of a home gets 45 days or more behind on their mortgage, the bank gets concerned about the condition of the home and the occupancy. The bank is especially concerned about the occupancy because a vacant home tends to deteriorate and collect citations from the local government. Also, vacant houses can lower the value of other homes in the neighborhood by causing urban blight. The mortgage companies are so concerned about this that they will usually order an inspection every 30 days. Once you find a vacant home, the bank will usually order another company to secure the home, and then as a field inspector, you will continue to visit the home. But now, besides the exterior inspection, you will also enter the house and do an interior inspection. You will not work directly with the mortgage companies. The banks will contract with a company called a national. The national contracts with a company called a regional, and the regional contracts with the field inspector. There are certain tools that you will need to have in order to be a field inspector. These include a smartphone that's less than 3 years old, an external GPS. A phone GPS or one built into your car is usually inferior to exterior ones. Contractor keys, a printer with a scanner, a PC computer. It cannot be a Mac. A Volt stick that can be purchased at any hardware store for $10 to $15, and finally, a reliable car. There really is no dress code for field inspections. Sometimes your regional will provide you with some kind of uniform. If not, your best bet is business casual. Like this. But not like this. Here we see our inspector pulling up to a home to do a standard occupancy check. He first takes the front of house picture. Next is the street view. Occupancy indicator, and house number. Our inspector is now going to start answering the survey questions. The length of what we in the industry call the script depends on the national and their client. At first, this might take you a little time to get all the questions answered, but once you get up to speed, you should be able to get this part done in 30 seconds to a minute and a half. And finally, we see our inspector takes the street sign picture. Notice that our inspector gets out of the car to take a picture. This is important because clients hate when you catch the mirror of the car in the picture. And off he goes to do the next inspection. Now let's see this in real time. As you can see, the inspections take less than 3 minutes. Next, our inspector is doing a door knocker. Most of the time, the occupant is nice and polite, and you just explain that it's a note from the bank and to please call them and then walk away. Avoid getting into conversations. Remember, time is money. Our inspector is going to another door knocker. Like I said before, most of the time the occupant will be polite, but not always. Remember, this woman is probably having money problems and is worrying about losing her home. Just apologize for the inconvenience and walk away. Never allow yourself to get into a verbal or physical confrontation. Before you go in the field, there's a little prep work that you need to do. Door knocker inspections include a note from the bank. Most of the time, the nationals utilize a third-party software. The national will usually have a place that you can print the door knocker from that website. Other times, the national will provide them to you by mail. You also need to map out your inspections before you start your day. This is when you use a routing program to optimize the route you're going to take while going from house to house. This is going to save you a lot of time while you are out in the field. And in this industry, time is definitely money. There are many routing programs available on the internet. There will be a link at the end of this class that will teach you more about this. No-contact inspections are very similar to the standard inspection, with one exception. You must stay off the property and avoid contact with anyone. No-contact inspections fall into two categories: traditional no-contact and a bankruptcy no-contact. The traditional no-contact is usually caused by a hostile occupant or an occupant that has repeatedly complained to the bank. A bankruptcy inspection means the owner has filed for bankruptcy. Field inspections fall under the category of debt collections, even though we never collect or even mention money to the occupant. Bankruptcy laws state that once a person is filed for bankruptcy, anyone that holds any debt for that person must cease any contact with that person. If someone makes contact with you, that's different than you making contact. So if someone walks up to you, you can't get in any trouble. Now, what does our inspector do when he finds a vacant property? Of course, we take our front of house photo, street, house number, but he doesn't see any occupancy indicator. The house looks taken care of, but we need to make sure. Checking the electric meter is a good way of determining if the house is occupied. The electric being off is a pretty sure indicator that the home is vacant. We need now to take pictures of the sides and air conditioner. We also need to walk around the house. When opening the gate, you want to look over the fence to make sure there are no animals that can bite you or other safety hazards. If he had found the locked gate, he would have taken a picture of it and just done the front of the house. Now he gets a picture of the back of the house. Uh-oh, there's an unsecured pool. Need to report that. It's a safety hazard and somebody could get hurt. At least they have a safety fence around it. Make sure you get pictures of any boarded or broken windows and/or boarded or unsecured doors. Always remember to take pictures of both sides of the house. You need pictures of any personals and debris. Have you noticed that the grass is higher in the back than it was in the front? This is a sign that one of the neighbors is cutting the front yard grass to keep the neighborhood looking favorable. It's a good thing our inspector didn't go on face value that the property looked maintained and therefore occupied. This would have been bad because the longer a home is vacant and unsecure, the more likely costly damages can occur. Don't go on face value. Do your due diligence. Other things our inspector could have done to determine occupancy is looking over the fence for personals or checking with a neighbor. If you can't determine the occupancy of a home with any kind of certainty, call it vacant. Next, we'll be showing you an interior inspection. On an interior, you'll start with the same exterior photos that we did on our vacant house. It's very important to do the exterior inspection first because you want to make sure that the home is secured. Never enter an unsecured property because you never know what you might find waiting for you inside. The home is completely boarded on the first level, so we need to use one of your contractor keys to open the padlock and remove the chain. Other times there will be a lockbox or an ordinary lock that one of your contractor keys will fit into. Now we see our inspector signing in on the sign-in sheet. It's a good idea to carry extras of these in case it's missing or full. Take a picture to prove you signed in. Off we go to do the inspection. He needs a picture of every room. Also, any debris and personals. Opening the faucet will prove the water is off or on. Remember to take a picture of it. He also needs a picture of any appliances. As he goes through the rooms, he is looking for any damages, debris, and personals. The blue tape we see here is proof that the house has been winterized. This is done to keep the pipes in the house from freezing. Here is more debris, and even more. When inspecting the garage, double check to see if the furnace is there. Also, you might find the electrical panel there. But not this time. Let's see what's upstairs. Another bathroom. Boy, is this room pink. He's found more damage. Make sure you get a picture of it. Another bathroom. Make sure you show all of it. And the last bedroom. Okay, let's see what's in the basement. Checking the circuit breaker. He also wants pictures of the hot water tank and the boiler. In the basement, our inspector wants to get all four corners and again, any personal debris. And we're done. Off to our next house. Many times, a homeowner or neighbor will call the police. Remember, you are a stranger in the neighborhood taking pictures of houses. You do look a little suspicious. If you are confronted by a police officer, stay calm. Remember, you are not doing anything illegal. Most of the time, once you explain to the officer what you are doing, they will shake your hand and let you go on with your day. Many times the officer is going to want to talk to your so-called boss. This is when you call your regional and ask him or her for help. On a rare occasion, no matter what you say, the officer is going to order you out of the area. If this happens, just say yes sir and drive away. Just try to get his or her name and precinct so you or your regional can call his or her supervisor. While you're in the field, you might be confronted by a nosy neighbor. As before, most of the time, once you explain what you're doing, they will just walk away and let you go on doing your inspection. But then again, sometimes the neighbor will get irate. Just like with the police officer, just drive away and avoid any kind of argument. Also, remember, talking to a property owner, you can answer any question you know the answer to. Anybody else, you can only tell them you are from the bank and the phone number of your regional. Good picture. Bad picture. Bad. Bad. Good. Bad. Bad. Bad picture. Good. Good picture. So now you've seen the different inspections and what to do in certain situations. Let's end the class with some of the benefits of being a mortgage field inspector. Very rarely will your regional hire you as an employee. Most of the time you will be a 1099 subcontractor. This basically means that you are your own little business. In many cases, it's not a bad idea to incorporate yourself. Talk to an accountant about this. Because you are your own little business, there are many tax benefits. Many things that you are currently using now can be a tax deduction, such as your phone and your internet. Again, consult an accountant. Other benefits are being able to choose your own hours. If you are a morning person, go out early and be done by mid-afternoon. If you like to sleep in, then go out later and work till dark. Just remember to always do your inspections before the due date. In this business, your on-time percentage is almost as important as the accuracy. As far as money goes, compensation changes from regional to regional. Sometimes it might even be negotiable. If you are willing to hustle, then you will be able to make a good living performing inspections. So, this is the end of the class. I hope you've had as much fun as I have. Next, you'll take the final quiz and get your certificate. I will see you next time.